Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Available wherever podcasts can be found, and of course, taped live at the Twitch at twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Before we get started today, I want to give a quick thanks to Alex, Queen of the Ring, for joining me today on Quizzlemania, on stepping up and freebirding these tag titles that we won on Quizzlemania. Unfortunately, we came up short, but hey, that happens in life sometimes. But I still had a blast, so thanks to Adam for having us on Quizzlemania. We'll be back to get another shot at those tag team titles.
Yes. Thank you so much, Alex. I thought both you and Alex did great. And then sometimes things just don't go your way. So
yeah, absolutely.
As you said, it will be back and get those titles back.
Absolutely. They're ours. No, they're not anymore, but it's good to say that. It sounds cool.
It sounds like we're not giving up on trying to win it back.
Right, exactly. Anyways, want to mention this before we get into our AEW recap today. We got a brand new channel. It's called Friendo Club TV. It's on the YouTube. All the odds and ends, the fun stuff that you might miss just in a regular podcast during our Twitch streams, some clips from the podcast, funny bits and pieces, some gameplay stuff, all sorts of stuff is going up on the Friendo Club TV channel. I'm going to put up the other day on the Friendo Club TV podcast for patrons. We got these awesome AAA masks from Organ Grinder, one of our awesome friendos here. I'm going to clip that, opening up that. So all the stuff that you guys send us to the P.O. Box. Like, for example, whenever RTG sends those cookies he owes us.
I thought they were already in the mail.
We're going to open those up. And so go subscribe to the Friendo Club TV channel right now.
Yes, please.
It's a lot of fun. And then also a quick shout out to our Patreon at patreon.com/Steve and Larson every single Friday. So that's right. In 2 days, a brand new issue of our newsletter, The Kip Up. It's how you can keep up with pro wrestling today. Results, news, stories of the week with our takes on them, must-see matches, must-see segments. And now I've included a running tally for all of the Numbers Don't Lie participants, I guess you can call unwitting participants. Subjects, I guess I should say.
Subjects, yes.
So that's on there as well. All for $5 a month. You also get the show Going in Raw in the audio realm, plus the bonus episodes ad-free in the audio realm, and all sorts of other stuff. So go check it out there, the Patreon.
Yes,
it's a great way to support Going in Raw. AEW Dynamite tonight. Pretty fun show. I thought there were some things that were a tad uneven about it, but by and large, the meat of the show was pretty fun. We got the debut of a guy who we had suspected would be showing up for quite some time now. Brody King officially joined the House of Black and attacked the Pillmans and Pentagon.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Kind of coinciding with that, we had a promo from Pac, the first we've heard from him since he got misted in the other eye, several weeks back. I don't think it's coincidental. He was dropping a promo. Looked like something maybe shot at home. I know it was really well shot.
That was great, yeah.
And he had both his eyes bandaged up. He was holding a tarot card. I believe it was Justice. And he's talking about how he might never see again. According to, he was talking as if, like the doctor was talking to him and said, "Mr. Bastard, I'm afraid you might never see again." He says, "In the end, though, my vision is better than ever."
Yeah.
So
he sees.
He could be the third man, brother of House of Black.
Well, it was interesting because during Brody King's appearance, right before his appearance, it looked like the Pillmans. And I call him the Pillmans. There's only one Pillman, but the other guy, I just call him the other Pillman, Griff Garrison and Pillman, and Pentagon. They were all about putting the beat down on Malachi, and he starts laughing and he starts throwing up the three. Now, no, he's not forming a new Three Horsemen faction. He's got his own faction. It's called House of Black. He was throwing up this and he was laughing. And so Brody's the second guy, which you got to ask, who's the third man? Brother, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be referencing Julia with the Pillmans, But I get the feeling that it's a proper third guy because he starts pointing at each of these guys like, I'm going to mess up all three of you guys.
Yeah.
Pac's got to probably be that other guy.
Yeah, I would think so.
Thinking. It's what I'm thinking.
We got a new challenger for Hangman Adam Page and his AEW title return of Lance Archer. Of course, again, several weeks ago, he had that scary incident where it looked like he hurt himself on a moonsault. Mm-hmm. It's great to see him back.
Oh, yeah.
And those two guys are going to beat the hell out of each other.
There was an interesting line during Hangman and Lambert's back and forth. I'll talk about that when we get there, but it had me it piqued my interest, and I want to get your thoughts on it.
Well, let's bring it up now. You brought it up. Let's just talk about it now.
It's about Hangman Page's AEW salary.
Oh, when Page says, I turned down a 6-figure deal to start a company.
Which would lead me to believe that he's accepted a 5-figure deal.
I have a hard time believing that.
What kind of cheap operation is Tony Khan running over there, man? Paying Hangman Page $35,000 a year?
I have a hard time believing he makes less than. I actually don't know what the salary scale is there, and I don't want to speculate. It's kind of hard to
speculate, right?
And I wouldn't want to speculate. I'm sure Page is doing just fine for himself.
I'm sure he probably is. I appreciate that. Tony Khan in kayfabe is a cheap bastard. Oh, this is good. Zondo says, Black says, we are the 3 many horsemen. That's good. I don't know. I thought that was kind of a funny thing. Otherwise, I thought that the show was, I like the meat of the show. I just thought like one of the things I had a problem with is that, look, I get it, Tony. You're sticking to your guns. It's kind of what you do, I guess. You're only going to have one women's match per show. Fine. Usually he puts on he's like, hey, go out there, have a banger, right? Have like a 15-minute affair.
Yeah.
What we got tonight was not that. And I felt like there were some things on the card that probably could have been sliced in order to, I don't know, feature your new TBS champion on TBS in more than a video package.
Yeah.
Or honestly, spotlight any of them. They have a really good roster of women there. But give us a women's match, man. Like, actually, AEW for the longest time, they were, I don't know, I'm going to get shit for this. But they do a relatively good job listening to their fans. But at a certain point, it does feel like they've sort of been like, okay, no, we're good. We're fine. We're doing what we're doing. We're good.
Yeah.
And I do feel like it's like, man, when are you going to get out of this? When are you going to get out of this like sort of stubborn thing of like, no, only going to do one women's match? AEW is really good at jamming a bunch of shit in their show.
Yeah.
Do we really need the Acclaimed versus the Bear guys? Do we really need that to forward the Acclaimed versus Sting and Darby?
Well, I remember we were texting about that. Like, why was this match on the card in lieu of another women's match? At that time, I was like, the Acclaimed, they're number one contenders for the tag titles. I mean, as such, they should probably have some TV time. They're number one contenders for the tag titles. Yeah. They should be in matches.
Yeah.
Just don't have them in a match that's having a match that's competitive against a team where the outcome may be somewhat in depth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First and foremost, instead of Bear Country. No disrespect to Bear Country. I'm sure they're getting wins on Dark and Elevation, but you don't see them much on Dynamite. And I think the only time we've seen them on Dynamite, they've lost. Mm-hmm. I'm conditioned to think when they show up on Dynamite, they're going to lose.
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, oh, they're having the Acclaim get a strong win on TV because they're going to have a match against Jurassic Express for the tag titles on TV. Mm-hmm. They want them going into that match strong. But then I didn't anticipate Sting and Darby Allin coming out attacking them. Yeah. And that match is next week, and the Acclaim's going to lose that.
Yeah, they're going to lose that match. Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah.
Then I'm back to square one. Like, okay, why?
Yeah, why did they have that match? Why did they have that match? You really do. Like, if you're looking at a piece of paper, you're like, I don't know. What are we going to do here? Like, you have your necessities. You have your Punk Wardlow. You've got your Hobbs Dante.
Which was really good. That was really good.
Yeah, no, that stuff was really good. And we're going to talk about that in a sec. And then so you have your stuff that you need. And then you're like, okay, well, we got a spot here. How about, like, a match that belongs on Dark or Elevation? Let's do one of those. I don't know. I was kind of bummed out by that.
Yeah, me too. They could have definitely benefited. The show could have benefited because I like the story beat of Deeb going after Sheeta and destroying her knee.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us a good 10, 15-minute women's match in addition.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I'll be honest with you, even Jade killing somebody,
Yeah.
I guess it's more just sort of like, man, shows that you're making an effort.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyways, and then I thought it was also kind of cool next week. This is kind of fun. They, they have openly acknowledged it, but first time I think we've seen Cole and Britt Baker on screen together. They looked like they were having a lot of fun, actual chemistry there. And then they got a mixed tag match against Statlander and Orange Cassidy. So that's fun.
Yeah, that should be fun. I mean, like by and large, if a real life couple is involved in a wrestling angle, if they're heels, it's way more fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. If they're good
way
guys.
More fun.
No, if they're good guys, it's weird. Nobody wants to see that. Like Seth and Becky, that was weird.
It seemed pretty obvious that neither of them really wanted to do it.
I think Seth kind of wanted to do it. Becky wanted no part of it.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I think Seth said in an interview he didn't want to do it.
Oh, really?
Or was uncomfortable doing it. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, it seemed weird.
Let's take a quick break here to get a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Several years ago, I was dealing with severe anxiety, and I learned how important it was to talk to a therapist, but I also learned that it could be really difficult to find the right person to talk to. Today, BetterHelp is providing a safe, convenient, private online environment where your needs will be assessed. You'll be matched with your own licensed personal therapist.
BetterHelp isn't a crisis line, nor is it self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. And you don't have to limit yourself to counselors in your area. BetterHelp services are available worldwide, so you can find the expertise you need regardless of location.
BetterHelp is dedicated to facilitating great therapeutic matches, all without having to sit in another uncomfortable waiting room. You can send your counselor messages whenever you want, or you can schedule regular phone or video sessions. And BetterHelp has made it free and easy to change therapists if needed.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a Going In Raw listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/raw. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
Anyways, let's go ahead and kick this off. Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era comes out and says, 2021 was great for us. 2022 will be even better. I haven't been pinned. I haven't been submitted. I am undefeated in singles competition. The boys are back together. We've got O'Reilly and Fish. It's a new era here in AEW. And then the Bucks come out. They ask, hey, what's going on? Matt says, seeing how I just kicked COVID's ass in 2 days, we figured we'd join you. Thanks for the invite. And Kyle O'Reilly says, with love and respect, we didn't need your help beating the Super Friends last week. And Matt says, you're right. Redragon's one of the best tag teams. I know they call them Red Dragon, but we here Going In Raw call them Redragon. To Dragon
again. Yes.
Redragon's one of the best tag teams in pro wrestling. He says, you're right. You didn't need our help. One thing is clear, though. This is our company. We were the longest reigning AEW tag champions in company history, and our New Year's resolution is get our belts back. And Kyle O'Reilly says, oh, that's funny. We have the exact same New Year's resolution. Fish says, there's not a single team that's going to stand between us and those tag titles, and that includes you and you. Yes, Larson, you have your hand up.
Yeah. It's almost mid-January. Is it too late to actually start declaring what your New Year's resolutions are?
Oh man, we're on the precipice, dude. I feel like the 15th is by far the latest. If you haven't gotten started on your New Year's resolution by now, I feel like at this point it's just like a new goal you have.
Then you got to wait till next year. That's kind of what I feel like.
If it has to be a New Year's resolution, you're looking at 23 at this point. Yeah. I agree with you. I'm with you on that one. Fish says, there's not a single tag team that's going to stand between us and those titles. Cole says, this is what we need, guys. This is what we need. Friendly competition. Emphasis on friendly. He says, look at those other factions. Look at the best friends. What an absolute joke. So then, of course, the best friends come out. And Orange Cassidy has Mike. And Cole says, what could you possibly have to say that's of any importance? Orange Cassidy attacks Cole. Brawl breaks out. Cole is in the ring with Orange Cassidy. Low blows him. Statlander shows up. Faces off with Cole. That brings down Britt Baker, DMD. She takes out Statlander and holds Orange Cassidy up for Cole to super kick him. The Bucks go in to do the kiss for Adam Cole, but Britt steps in and says no. Gives him a big old smooch, and they all stand triumphant Thought it was a really fun segment.
It was a fun segment. After that, we get a pretty good Wardlow video package. He's been doing, I mentioned this on our NXT review when we were talking about some Wardlow news, but he was doing the press rounds quite a bit today. It seemed like AEW was really pushing this match as a moment for Wardlow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's without a doubt the most significant match of his career against the most high profile opponent, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Oh probably. Yeah. Well, there's Cody. The case, I mean, at that time, that was a huge match for Wardlow.
That was a huge match
because he had to catch Cody off that ridiculous jump of his.
And so this is obviously it seems pretty obvious that this is kind of the real start for Wardlow's push.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he put hands on MJF tonight. And I believe that's the first time we've seen that. MJF was really laying into him. Wardlow just got the loss, grabs his hand, and then Spears has to come out as MJF gets himself free.
But prior to that, Wardlow was beating the hell out of Punk. He powerbombed him 5 times.
Oh, I thought it was
5 times.
7. It was.
And then, 5 times at first, and then steps on him, his chest to get the pin. And MJF is like, no.
Yeah.
Do it more.
Yeah.
I want you to destroy Punk.
Yeah.
And so Wardlow power bombs him again. And then MJF says, do another. He does. So that's 7. Mm-hmm. 7 power bombs. And MJF is playing to the crowd. And Wardlow is just kind of he's over MJF. Mm-hmm. He's over this.
Yeah.
And he's kind of pacing around the ring a little bit, watching MJF kind of talk crap to the crowd. So Punk rolls to the apron. Wardlow goes to the floor to get him. And MJF goes, no, wait. And he goes and he clears off the timekeeper's table and says, powerbomb through there. And Wardlow does it. Punk crawls back to the ring, just barely beats the 10 count. Mm-hmm. And Wardlow is glaring at MJF. Mm-hmm. He's like, I had this match won, but I have to listen to you. So MJF tells Wardlow to powerbomb again. So Wardlow tries to get Punk up. Punk just collapsed. He gets him up again. Is about to powerbomb him. Punk rolls up Wardlow to get the win. Then after that, MJF gets the ring. He yelling at Wardlow, you never win the big match. Pushes him. He starts jabbing him in the chest with his finger. And then Wardlow grabs MJF's hand. And it's like, it was a Superman 2 thing, it felt like. When Superman got his powers back and was crushing Zod's hand. And then MJF pulls his hand out. Spears runs in, steps in between them. Wardlow leaves, and Spears chases up the ramp. I mean, I know I've seen some people quibble about the particular finish, about the roll-up particularly. And maybe it might have been a little more. I mean, it seemed like a situation where there's probably 3 or 4 different ways you can make the same point.
Yeah.
As far as having MJF cost Wardlow the match.
Yeah.
Whether it was this situation, whether I thought when Punk was trying to crawl back into the ring to beat the 10 count, that MJF was going to just like deck him with the diamond ring or something, and cost Wardlow the match that way. But I guess the goal was achieved in that. MJF cost Wardlow a W.
I think
his most high-profile opponent to date.
Yeah,
and Wardlow was upset about it.
I could have used a low blow from Punk. Like, he's in a situation where it's just desperation at that point, and if the ref is distracted by MJF, just punch him in the dick and roll him up. Should play a little bit dirty. I'm never really like small package for a dude that large didn't really make a lot of sense, but. I think the story beat was just fine. You can quibble over details. I get that, but yeah. This is such a small quibble. I felt like Giant Man beating the crap out of a smaller guy back to back. It was just a little too much for me. I feel like I have Wardlow versus Dante here. It wasn't the same person. Hobbs versus Dante probably could have happened with like something in between this and the other one, because it was a sense like Hobbs was just murdering Dante the entire time until Dante finally starts putting together. My favorite part of this match, though, actually, I'm not going to say that, but one of my favorite parts of this match, though, was Taz's ongoing feud with having a decent legal team. Mm-hmm. Him crowing about Dante and that contract. I think I don't have a good legal team right now.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, that
having a hard time finding a good legal team.
That kills me every single time. I love Taz. Taz is great. Unfortunately, they need to find somebody else to eat these pins, man. I'm tired of Hobbs eating these pins. I'm tired of it, man. It's been ages now. It's been like a year now. This guy keeps on getting these shitty losses. He's murdering a guy. You can't figure out just to put him away.
You know, I don't watch Dark or Elevation, so I don't know if this is part of the story they might be telling. I don't think Hobbs has been using the torture rack his entire time as his finish. That's his finish now. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're trying to do some story where the reason he's having a hard time putting opponents away is because he hasn't found his finisher yet. So I thought he was doing the spine buster early on.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just reading too much into this. That is entirely possible.
Yeah.
But that thought occurred to me when he started doing when he was trying to put the Dante in the torture rack. So down at the end, Ricky Starks was ringside a couple times. He was beating up on Dante Martin. At one point, Dante's on the apron, and the rest kind of half distracted by Hobbs. And so Ricky gets on the apron and starts sneaking up, trying to attack Dante. And then, like in plain view, Rick Knox can see it just clear as day. It's like, oh, you get out of here. And then Jay Lethal runs down, trips Starks off the apron, and that distraction allows Dante to hit his finish to get the win.
Yeah. I did appreciate when Ricky did take the opportunity to start stomping on Dante on the outside. He stomps, looks,
I know.
stomps.
Those little details.
Ricky Starks is so damn good.
Oh, he's great.
They have so much talent in Team Taz. It's just funny that it's like this is the team they've elected to make, sort of the Keystone Cops, just sort of goofs.
Yeah. Well, it's them, and it's 2.0 and Garcia.
Yeah, but they treat Garcia pretty damn good. They're not 2.0 and Garcia are not nearly as hapless as Team Taz.
But on occasion they're pretty hapless. They're tonight, the finish of that match, they were pretty hapless.
Yeah, that's
like it
true.
seemed like Garcia could have potentially won that match had it not been for 2.0 coming out.
That was a hell of a match. I still think Garcia and
really
Sammy
good.
Guevara have like some legit heat or something because oh my god, Sammy was like laying into him thick tonight. Looked like it, anyways. I don't know. Maybe that's just how Garcia likes it. I know he wants to be sort of like a noob Suzuki type. Anyways, after that, Jericho and the Inner Circle had an interview. Apparently, PWI. I know AEW cleaned up at the PWI awards, but they got Faction of the Year. The Inner Circle. That's what Marvez said at the beginning of his interview.
Apparently, I'm not a PWI reader, so I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, he says Jericho says we promise to take over this company. So, what do you think the Faction of the Year was last year, man? I mean, I'd give partially maybe like consideration over the Inner Circle to Super Elite.
Yeah, it should have been Super Elite.
Yeah.
They had like Kenny was champ, the Young Bucks were tag champs, Good Brothers were Impact tag champs most of the year.
So many titles.
Yeah, it should have been them.
Yeah. Anyways, Jericho says we promise to take over this company to be the biggest band of blood brothers this business ever seen. So tonight, if 2.0 wants to get involved, we're going to cut them down. Kingston comes over, says, mind your own business. Nobody cares about Sammy. I want Danny Garcia. You know why? Because my knee. It's all messed up. You want to take a look at it? It's all messed up. And he says, and you two pointed at Santana Ortiz, says, you want to know why you're not world tag champs? This guy. And Jericho starts yelling at Kingston. Santana says, hey, chill your shit out. And then him and Ortiz walk away as Kingston's trying to bring them back and say, hey, guys, come on. And Jericho says, look, dude, I'm going to be in Sammy's corner tonight. If 2.0 gets in the way, I'm going to kick their ass. If you get involved, I might kick your ass too, GFY, which I think stands for go fuck yourself.
I believe Kingston, that's the case.
I don't know if he didn't know that or if he were so incredulous that he repeated. He was like, GFY.
It might be. It sounded like he was confused about the meaning of it. So I think he said GFY.
Yeah. I want to see camera of him when the light bulb goes off. Oh,
exactly.
What? Go F myself.
It should have been the ring at the end of the show when they were yelling at each other where he finally realized GFY. Oh, I remember what that means now.
Hey, you know what? I just remembered. I just thought about this. Yeah, good. There you go. Jorge says, Chew World Order both says, good for you.
So then MJF comes out, interrupts the show, and he says, I hate interrupting even though I'm the only star here. Punk, I know you're backstage. Right now you're in pain. You may have won. Congratulations, Tib. You got powerbombed to oblivion. You got a fluke victory, but you ain't winning next week. You're going to take your first L in AEW, and I'm going to give everybody here the match they've all been waiting for. So next week, it's CM Punk versus Sean Spears.
Oh, poor Sean Spears. He's eating a chair shot from Wardlow or MJF or somebody to make sure that he gets the win because he ain't winning fair and square. Hey, let me ask you something real quick. I thought I heard this, but when MJF said you got a fluke victory, did he call Wardlow an oaf? He said you got a fluke victory over an oaf tonight, or did I just mishear that? I'm curious if anybody in chat noticed.
I didn't notice, but sometimes the click-clacking of me taking notes, I don't hear
everything. Yeah, chat's confirming. That's what I thought he said because he was talking very quickly. Yeah. Oof, an oaf. Ouch. Yeah. Anyways, after that, we had Cole and his super group saying, best friends, we've whooped your ass so many times. And Statlander, you get this. And Britt comes over and says, Statlander, we're challenging you and Orange Cassidy to a mixed tag match. And they tell Cutler to cut the camera. They're very rude to him.
They are very rude. We get a Hangman Page promo. He says, these last 2 months, I spent 90 minutes in the ring against one of the best in the world. I've poured sweat, spilled enough blood to float a battleship, all for this. The ultimate prize, the most important thing in the wrestling business, the AEW title. And it's still mine. But 90 minutes isn't enough. It's a new year. The records have reset. And Hangman Page needs a new challenger. Then we get Dan Lambert.
Even Hangman was over it.
He says, please shoot me. So Lambert starts talking about the history of wrestling cowboys. And he says, now we get you. He says, and the AEW fans can relate to you. And Page says, well, if Sky or Page want a title shot, they can come out and hear it and ask. But I'm not going to hear it from a walking Facebook profile like you.
Oof, that's rough.
That is rough. So Lynn Lambert says, no, I'm not here to insult you. I'm here to put you over. And he does that. He says, I respect you because you didn't take the Cody path and rely on backstage politics to get your opportunities. You've earned everything you have in this business except your gimmick. He says, Paige, do yourself a favor, keep the title, keep the money, but stop disrespecting the legacies of all the wrestlers in the past who had cowboy gimmicks. Because somebody who fakes it, a cowboy gimmick, comes across like they're full of cowboy shit.
Yeah.
And Paige's like, well, growing up on a farm is that's not cowboy shit. Turning down a 6-figure contract to start a company and win its title, that's not cowboy shit. He says, Lambert, come to the ring and you'll get these size 12 boots, and I'll prove to you that I'm a real cowboy.
I think he even mentioned wrangling cattle on that farm. And I was like, that's about as bona fide as you get when it comes to being a cowboy. And I think he even named the brand of his cowboy boots.
He did.
Keplin or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know anything
about cowboy boots. They don't seem terribly comfortable.
I have not had a pair of cowboy boots since I was probably 5 years old.
I might have had a pair. I was huge into the Dukes of Hazzard before I knew what the Confederate flag was. I'm pretty sure. I'll be honest with you, I think when I was that age, I think I had a big wheel that was flying that flag. I didn't know.
So anyways, Lance Archer, he returns. He walks down the ring. Of course, he and Lambert had an altercation weeks back. And so Lambert, he sees Lance Archer running towards him, so he runs the opposite way, which is towards the ring. And he's still on the mic, and he's like, no, don't go after me. Look, you're in the ring with the champ. This is your shot. This is your chance to take it to the champion. That's what he does. Archer attacks Hangman with the chair, sets up the chair in the ring, and then puts Hangman at the top rope and hits Blackout onto the seat of the chair.
I was so hoping that Hangman was going to wrangle out of that. And then he didn't. It looked like it was horrible.
So, like, I like that Archer had him up there, and Paige is like, "Oh, I know what's going to happen. This is going to suck." And he starts wiggling, trying to get out.
Yeah, I know, and he couldn't.
Right.
It really felt like Archer. I don't think it's actually happened because Paige has to do his part, but it feels like. I mean, it really did look like he just like muscled him over and just threw him over there, as opposed to the person doing the little jump up thing. It was rough. That was rough.
Yeah. Then we got Arn Anderson doing
back up.
Sorry.
So Lambert's beef with Hangman is he doesn't consider him a legitimate enough cowboy
to carry the cowboy gimmick. Yeah,
right. It's all about the cowboy gimmick. That's the stupidest
beef really is.
I've ever heard. But it's kind of when he was saying, I was like, That's his problem? That's hilarious. I loved Hangman's shirt, though, the Smokey the Bear
it was
one.
great.
I loved that shirt. That was awesome.
That was great. So let me get Arn Anderson. He's got a promo.
J Mart says we need to find photos of Kid Steve with that big wheel so we can cancel him.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. 5-year-old Steve's going to get me canceled, really? Little Stevie?
We get Arn Anderson and a new tag team, Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson. So Arn is saying, I'm proud of this new tag team. And they're going to experience something they've never experienced before. They're in Horseman country. So this brings in Tully and FTR. And Tully says, yeah, we're in Horseman country. And if you want to relive the Horseman days, drop the dead weight and join us.
Arn looked like he just woke up from a nap for one thing.
I know, because this retort was, that's my son. That's all he can muster.
he honestly, like when he was at the beginning of the interview, he was like, this is a Horseman country. Where are we? Yeah, that's my son. So, yeah, Tully and FTR are trying to recruit the Lee
Arn.
and Brock. No, Arn. Wait, they're trying to recruit Arn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then they want to challenge Brock and Lee to a fight.
Yes, to a match next week. Yeah.
Next week,
or,
yeah.
I think it was
on
next
Rampage or next week. There's already a tag title match this week, so it's going to be next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, and then Tully and Arn shake hands.
Yeah.
So is this like an Elektra Lopez situation? Like a prop Arn has to go with...
No. I don't think that's the case. That wasn't established by this interview or this promo.
Okay.
Segment, no.
Maybe we'll get that on Rampage. All right.
Who knows?
I'll deal with it.
Next, Jade Cargill video package.
Yeah, this is really well done. It'd be cool if she had a match on the show.
It would be cool if she had a match on the show.
Speaking of matches on the show, Hikaru Shida and Serena Deeb were supposed to have a match. As Shida came down, Deeb ran out there and gave her a chop block to the knee during Shida's entrance, attacks her for a bit. Finally, they ring the bell. Eventually, Deeb gets Shida in like a half crab. And
Serenity Lock.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Serenity Lock. Serenity Now. And she's just cranking on it. Ref calls it. Shida doesn't tap. Ref just calls it. Sheeta's pissed about it. The trainer, is that Samson? Is that the dude's name?
I think that's Doc Samson. I did like that Sheeta, after she got out and kind of realized what happened, like pushed the ref.
She was pissed.
Pushed the ref.
She was pissed. But then he's there with her. Doc Samson comes in, and they're both tending to her. Deeb gets in with a kendo stick. The ref looks at her, sees what she's about to do, looks back down at Sheeta, and then Serena loads up and is like, get back, get back. They make no effort to protect Sheeta. None whatsoever. I got to wait till Aubrey gets down there and Serena's already given Sheeta like 15 shots
to the knee
with the kendo stick.
Yeah. Yeah. And Aubrey and some more refs come down, Ty Conti and a Jay. They run down too. They help Sheeta out of the ring. And one would assume to go backstage. But then we go to a Christian Cage and Jurassic Express interview. Christian says first, sending well wishes to Phoenix. And then Jungle Boy says, whoever wants a piece of us is next. They work hard to get these titles. They're going to work harder to keep them. They're going to outwork everyone, apparently. Mm-hmm. They say any top 5 teams want a title shot, go on, step up. So John Silver and Alex Reynolds step in. They want a shot. And then the match is made for Friday.
Yeah, this is funny stuff because Luchasaurus goes to Johnny Hungy, and he goes, starts sticking his tongue out at him. That dude is a funny guy.
Yeah, he is.
After that, Hardy and Private Party come out. He says, Penta, I'm going to delete you, send you to the hospital to be with your hermano. And then we get Matt Hardy versus Pentagon. They do a fairly extended Seto Miedo delete thing.
Delete.
Penta gets the win here with the Fear Factor. Afterwards, Penta and Alex say they're going to show Malachi some respect, and he's about to do this Seto Miedo thing. The lights come down, they come back up, and Malachi's in the ring. He boots Alex, hits Penta with a kick, starts ripping at Penta's mask. The Pillmans come in to try to make the save. Julia gets on the apron, says he's had enough. Malachi looks up, and he's surrounded by everybody, but he starts laughing. It's like, ha, 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 ha. He starts throwing up the 3 horsemen sign, and he's like giving it to each of them. Lights come down again, and this monster of a human being, just tatted from head to toe, Brody King, this badass dude, just murders everybody. The Pillmans, both of them, and Pentagon. It gives that awesome running cannonball. Oh,
that's
beautiful.
Great. And Malachi just sits in the corner and watches.
Oh, it's great. Terrific stuff. Great to see
it. Was
him
great.
here in
It
AEW.
was great. Yep. Then we get a Layla Hirsch, Chris Statlander, and Red Velvet interview. They got a trios match against Nyla, Penelope, and the Bunny on Rampage. And next week, of course, Chris has the mixed tag match. And she's asked about that. And Layla Hirsch is like, hold on. Why aren't you focusing on our match? And Chris says, if I didn't think I could handle it, I wouldn't have accepted it. Because things are getting a little contentious between them over the last few weeks. And Red Velvet says, all right, if we're going to have any chance to win on Friday, we need to get together. Can you get it together? They both say yes. They're not going to get it together.
I really wish Statlander was kayfabe in the alien stuff more. So she's just like, they ask her questions like, and then Layla Hirsch is like, hey, don't be looking pet like Layla.
Or she's in a situation she doesn't like, she just teleports out. No.
I like the idea that Layla would understand the alien language because they're a tag team.
Oh, okay.
She's like, stop looking past us, man. We got a match. No, I won't do that. Kind of great.
And then Statlander could say in alien language, well, if you don't do what I say, I'm just going to get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
And Layla could say, don't do that.
Yeah.
Teleports out.
Yeah, accompanied by some theremin. After that, we had the Acclaimed versus the Bear Guys during Max Caster's rap. He talked shit about Sting and Darby Allin. And after the Acclaimed get their win over Bear Guys, Sting and Darby attack and just completely lay them to waste. Hit them with the Scorpion. Sting hits a Scorpion death drop on them.
Yeah, and they got a tag match next week, which Sting and Darby are going to win.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get a Pac promo. Starts out with as if a doctor's talking to him. Sorry, Mr. Bastard, your sight may never return. You may never see again.
Mr. Bastard.
And he goes, here we go again. Is this a setback? Is it ever going to come back? Says, I was blinded, but now I see everything. Now my perspective is different, and my vision has never been so clear.
I've been so clear. I've been having a good vacation here at home. After that, we had a Matt Hardy interview. Says, the loss was frustrating. He says, maybe I'm focusing too much on the future of AEW. And these guys over here. Private Party's like, what? Andrade comes in, says, Mr. Hardy. He says, you need to focus. You are a businessman. I am a businessman. You like money? And Matt Hardy says, I love money. He says, I love money too. I want to negotiate a deal with you. It'll benefit Matt Hardy, and of course it'll benefit Andrade El Idolo. And Matt says, we're not going to talk about it now. We're going to go to my office.
Yeah.
A meeting of the minds will happen.
Yes. Yes. And then we have our main event, Sammy Guevara versus Daniel Garcia. This is a really fun match. Daniel Garcia, man, the way he can put offense together.
Oh, dude, this kid,
move to submission
so
to move.
Much fun.
He's only been wrestling 4 years, too.
Oh, that's unfair. That's unfair. How old is he? 24, something like that?
I think they said 24. 23
what
or 24.
The heck? Well, all I was doing at 24 was getting drunk.
Yeah, I wasn't doing much of anything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was 23 or 24. Sammy hit the crossroads during this bout.
I noticed that, yeah.
Gets a 2 count. He's looking for a springboard cutter. Garcia catches him with a sleeper. Sammy tries to get up, and then Garcia transitions essentially to a bulldog choke. Follows that with a pile driver, gets 2. Sammy then hits an Enziguri 2.0, come to ringside. They attack Eddie and then Jericho. Garcia is looking for another pile driver. Sammy counters that with a knee. He's looking for a GTH. And instead, he lets go of it because Parker gets on the apron. He knocks him off. Lee then gets on the apron the opposite side. He gets knocked off too. Sammy hits a GTH for the win. 2.0 hit the ring after the match, lay out Sammy. Jericho gets back in the ring. He has Floyd now. Eddie's there, kind of milling about until they clear the ring. And then the show ends with Eddie and Jericho just in each other's face arguing.
They're arguing. Eddie takes off his hoodie, almost gets lost in it. He's got his gray sweatpants on again. I'm pretty sure it's the same. It's just the dark gray sweatpants. I'm pretty sure it's the same pair he had on last week, which is just awesome. I love Eddie. He's great.
Eddie is the best.
Good Lord. Jonas says Garcia's only 23. So by the time he's our age and probably still in wrestling, racking up world title after world title, I'll be 63.
Oof. I'll be anywhere between 64 and 67.
Right?
Old. Be old.
I love that time is fluid in your sphere, my friend. Anyway.
No, I just don't know when I was born. This has been established.
That's not factual. There's no way you don't
I mean,
know
that's
when
what you say, but you don't know these things.
I do know these things, man.
No,
I
you
know
don't.
that you
You
know
don't.
when you were born.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Brian Luckman has a question here on our Patreon.
All right.
It says, should they have pulled the trigger on Wardlow turning tonight, or does this make it? So apparently they're going to be in his hometown in 2 weeks, according to Wrestling Brain.
Oh, Cleveland. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. That could be the night. Maybe. I feel like they're going to draw it out a little bit longer. I don't want them to draw it out too much, but man, it's going to be huge when they do.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Yeah, it is. Rossi gifted a sub here to Michael Soto. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Lubricant Hornet. I usually vibe with your opinions on wrestling. However, I have to say I have really enjoyed Dan Lambert and his work. While sometimes he resorts to low-hanging fruit, as you say, he really does pop me as a heel. And I need to let the friendos know.
I think if it hadn't been for the first... If all I had of Dan Lambert was what I got from him over the past month, I'd be okay with him.
Yeah.
It's just the first bunch of stuff he did was just unbearable.
It was. And part of it, too, for me is Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page don't need anybody doing the talking for him. I feel like he's doing them a disservice.
Yeah, if he was just with a guy like Archer who, could benefit from a guy that talks, maybe it wouldn't be so unbearable. And on top of that, you just dial down how much you give him, how much time you give him,
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about his presentation before. There's different ways they can sort of utilize him in a microphone. Doesn't always have to be him coming out and getting all red in the face, screaming into a microphone.
Yeah.
Luis Reza asks, if you were to create an all-female faction in AEW, who would be in it? I would surround Jade with people. I don't watch Darker Elevation, but I don't know, give her like an entourage, I always like the idea of a super athlete person and they've got the big entourage with them. I always like that idea.
So it seems like Jade has Mercedes Martinez with her.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What about Layla Hirsch?
I like that a lot. I think that's good. Honestly, what you do, you take an old rival and you make her a friend, Red Velvet.
Yeah.
I feel like Red Velvet should be a bad guy anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Gregory Fiella. You think Roderick Strong regrets re-signing with WWE after seeing Undisputed in AEW? I have no idea. No clue.
I don't know.
No clue.
No clue
I would not know even if I was his best friend. I'm not sure I'd know. Let's see here. Yellow Flash. How would you book Athena's debut for AEW if she were to sign with the company? Of course, that's Ember Moon in WWE. Man.
She'd be a really good opponent for Jade.
She would be because like I said, you want Jade in there with good veteran wrestlers, and there is nobody better than. I guess we have to start getting used to calling her Athena at this point. Let's see here. The glorious Steve Klain. If you were to have an occupation gimmick, what would it be and why?
Oh, great question.
That's an awesome question. It really is. It would be NFT broker. It would be a crypto
heat.
bro. It'd be a crypto
that's
bro.
heat right there.
Yeah. Heat. So much heat. I'd be so into. I'd be gleeful about.
Sorry, Belleville and Taz's lawyer. That's
Taz's
great.
lawyer. That's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Man, that's good. Crypto broker is
Crypto
good
bro,
because
yeah.
it's current,
Yeah.
topical.
Yeah. It's money based. I always like the money based. You can go.
Yeah.
I lost and gained $25,000 in the last 10 minutes because that's how that shit works.
Yeah,
I have like a little
volatile.
bit in crypto just to see how it works. Because my sister swears up and down that it's the future. And it's wild just how much it fluctuates. I'm like, this is the biggest scam. But once it gets, I don't know, whatever. Come on, give me an occupation, man. What do you got?
First thing that popped in my head is a toll booth operator.
Wow.
But here's the thing.
Good. Pay the toll. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good. But here's the thing. Like whenever I go driving around where there's toll booths,
yeah,
there's nobody manning them now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's the pandemic thing or not.
Yeah.
So I'm not just a toll booth operator. I'm a former toll booth operator.
Oh, you're disgruntled.
Who left that occupation.
Yeah.
Or was forced to leave that occupation and have come to professional wrestling to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Your finish could be the fast track.
That's good.
Yeah, or
That's
the cash only lane. Man, it's
I'm a fast track myself the main event scene.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, man, I went to, where did I go? Me and Lacey goes, I don't know where, somewhere near the Bay Area. And there was like tolls, but like it's not, you didn't even go through the tolls. Like there's just a big thing. It says like there's a toll at some point.
Yeah.
And so like we went, and then like I got my toll for like $6 in the mail.
Yeah. They sent you the mail now. Yeah.
Totally forgot about it. And ended up paying $31 because I got a $25 late fee. What a scam.
Yeah, if you don't have fast track now, they just take a picture of your license plate and send
I
it.
rarely go out there.
send
Enforcer
your
says his occupational gimmick would be big dummy. I don't think it's a job, man. I don't think big dummy's a job, but we could talk about it tomorrow on the Smash Zone.
Can.
Let's see here.
Dangam Q says if Adam Scherr were to pop in AEW for a one-off appearance, would that affect your prediction of him returning as Braun Strowman at the Rumble? Nope. Unless the only thing that would preclude him from showing up at the Rumble in relation to an AEW appearance is if he signed a full-time AEW contract.
Yeah. If he were to pop up for a one-off appearance, if I knew it was a one-off appearance, then no. I still think that's going to happen. Let's see here. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if WWE want him doing that. Let's see here. Oh, Moses opposes. With Britt getting involved with Paragon, they didn't officially call that the name yet. But I guess we're just calling it that now. That's fine. Which female wrestlers would you add to these factions? Team Taz. Who would you add to Team Taz?
Wow.
You know what would be kind of funny is if Mercedes Martinez was in Team Taz. Because she'd be so over them so quickly.
That would be good. Yeah, I could see that.
Pinnacle. Who has an old school feel. Probably like
I know MJF said if he'd want Britt to join.
Oh, yeah. Well, not now, though. After the CM Punk stuff.
Oh, Jade.
Oh, that's good. Inner Circle. Oh, Serena Deeb and Inner Circle. That could work.
That's good. That
could work.
That's good.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. We'll end on this one. Xavier Gray. Who should Jurassic Express have their first tag team title feud with? Real feud. I'd say, you know what, dude? I know the Acclaimed is like top ranked. Have a feud with them. Acclaimed doesn't really have like a proper feud. Have a feud with them.
Agreed. I mean, I worry that the Acclaimed are their number one ranked. They're going to have their match with Sting and Darby. They're going to lose that all to get Sting and Darby enough wins so they can challenge Jurassic Express for those titles.
Hey, this is a good one. Bill Villain says FTR. Remember that the singles match between Jungle Boy and
Dax?
Cash?
Yeah.
Oh, Dax. Was it Dax or Cash?
I think it was Dax.
All right, whichever one it was. One of them FTR dudes. That's a killer theme song right there. When are they having that match? That's on Dynamite next week, right?
Which match? FTR?
FTR, their next match? I think it's on
so.
Dynamite.
I think so. Against Lee and Brock. Lee Johnson and Brock
Anderson. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Tomorrow's a heavy streaming day for us over on twitch.tv/Stephen Larson. We've got NXT UK at noon Pacific. We've got The Numbers Don't Lie for Brock Lesnar.
I got a question about Numbers Don't Lie. It would be cool doing that at 2:30 instead of 4.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
2:30 for Numbers Don't Lie.
2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern for The Numbers Don't Lie. And then, of course, at 5 p.m. Pacific, we should start doing Numbers Don't Lie all the time at 2:30. 5 p.m. Pacific, we've got The Smash Zone. Very exciting. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.